Hey, welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. I did want to
malfunction.
I did want to make this clear as well. This is kind of a big deal. There were several members of the Detroit Lions staff who have recently been let go as well for gambling for the same situations. Ari Meirov, our good friend, said that earlier today or tweeted that out. I mean, this seems to have been an organizational failure as well.
And that's where I go, like, that's where I want to find out when exactly was this. Not that it would matter, Ryan, in terms of to the rules, but to what was this Final Four where people around the facility hanging out? Was Jameson here rehabbing, and there's a couple people from HR up there? And like, what was going on? What were the circumstances surrounding the situation? Because if I'm sitting here betting on the Final Four, and I'm betting with people upstairs in the front office, or you know what I'm saying, people that are also a member of the Lions franchise. Now is where you get a little confused. You know,
Maz, I was talking to Neil Rule earlier, and I don't know if you were in there or not. And he said, "Well, what were you doing when you were 22?" It's not the same. Nobody gave me millions of dollars. Nobody counted on me in an organization. The benefit of a position coach, a head coach, a defensive coordinator, a general manager, a mentor. He's got all of those things. And who is this Alliance Sports? Seriously, this Alliance Sports statement? This Alliance Sports statement. The NFL suspended for 6 games. Jameson takes full responsibility for his actions and is very apologetic to the NFL, his teammates, and the fans of the city of Detroit. Stop. Full stop. Just stop there. They continue. However, it's important to note that the violation was a technicality. I mean, come on, man. You are letting him off the hook. Somebody get in front of his face and tell him to grow up.
Ryan,
there's some Instagram stories out. I mean, it's not looking good for me.
Okay, Ryan, I understand that. But please understand, no one gave you millions of dollars at 22, so you can't insert yourself in his shoes and say what you would have done, what you would not have done, what would have made sense to you. And you know what? I know that I can wreck this. 22 years old, getting the money that he's making, that doesn't cover up for the 21 years of you growing up before that. That doesn't cover up for the kids, the friends that you have growing up for that, the way in which your mind already works, the way in which you see Instagram or certain things in social media. You're a part of that era. You can't just turn that off all of a sudden because somebody gives you a certain amount of money and now all of a sudden you're expected to go from a kid in college to a grown man paying taxes and worrying about life insurance policies. This could have simply been a mistake. It is simply one that could have been a mistake. And then to the Alliance report, was it illegal outside the building? Is it something that's not? Is it something?
Yes, it is legal. If he was at home, he could have bet on the game. But he can't do it in the facility, and every NFL player knows that.
What if he doesn't know that the parking lot is considered the facility? What if he doesn't know that sitting in his car in the parking lot when it's the off season or when it's an off day, he doesn't know that that's not considered the facility because he didn't walk in between there and make the bet, or he was in the car when he made the bet.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that.
Exactly. So don't say
it was at the facility.
Well, don't say at 22 years old he has a coach at this and he has that. It still doesn't matter. He's still a kid.
It sounds like an awful lot of excuses.
It sounds like you've never been in his situation.
No, I haven't.
So then don't put yourself. Don't self-impose.
I haven't. But I can sure tell you that Jameson Williams is not giving the Detroit Lions anything, and has not given this football team anything.
They said that they were going to bring him along slowly. Yeah. He didn't say, hey, I won't be ready until December. Right. Jameson Williams never said that. Dan Campbell did.
Fine.
And then Antoine Randall did. And then Ben Johnson
and
did.
And that's fine. I just the fact is that he has not given this football team anything on the field.
As far as that statement goes, finish reading it for me.
However, it is important to note that Jameson's violation was not betting on football, but rather due to a technical rule regarding the actual location in which the online bet was placed, in which would otherwise be allowed by the NFL outside the club's facility.
The reason they wrote that is they don't want you to right away think, why is he only getting 6 months when 6 games when Calvin Ridley got a year? Calvin Ridley sat on his couch and he bet on football.
Bet in the NFL.
Yeah, he bet on football. This kid's not betting on football.
I remember 2 guys and make it 3 guys. That when Calvin Ridley's suspension came down last year, you was like, I can't believe they would do that to the kid. That's far too long. And that kid bet on his own team. This is a kid that didn't even bet on his sport. And you're saying it's oh my God, the kid shouldn't do that. Well, if I was this kid, I wouldn't do that because I have this backing. You had Calvin Ridley's back when he bet on the Atlanta Falcons. But now you're sitting here telling me that, no, it's not a mistake. He's immature because he bet at the Lions facility, maybe in the parking lot, on something that wasn't the NFL.
The more information you have about something, the better informed your decision about it can be. And I think last year it was still so new for this marriage between the NFL and gambling sites. And I don't think that you can shy away from that. The NFL is in bed with all of these gambling sites.
Yeah, they're hypocrites.
And a year later, and more than a year into it now, I think these players, at least from what I've been told, are coached constantly on the rules, what they can do and what they cannot do. And again, yes, if you want to say I'm going too far, fine. I am extremely frustrated that I've been a Lions fan for 44 freaking years, and they are finally on the cusp of a world championship. Yes, I said it. And this pisses me off as a fan. It absolutely does. It takes away all the good that we are talking about now, and you move forward and you say, is this something that they will completely change their draft strategy on? And we can talk about that coming up. You know, if they were planning on defense at 6 and maybe Bijan at 18, now do they have to go reach for a defensive player, somebody at 6, and then pick a wide receiver at 18? I am pissed.
Ryan.
Yes,
Ryan,
I am upset.
Ryan, he is one player that when he played last year, he didn't do very much for them to be 8-2. They were 8-2, and he didn't even do that much. Don't act like the team's chemistry and the team structure is about to shake to the knees.
He hasn't done anything yet.
Thank you. Don't make it seem like the team structure is going to shake to the core and they're going to revert backwards for one player who wasn't a premier player on offense last year. Let's take a step back and know that the Lions are still in a damn good place, my guy. They're still in a great place, and we don't even know how this will play out because if I'm correct, I think this is the first time an NFL player has bet in-house on something that wasn't the NFL. He appeals and goes from 6 games to 3 games. Last time I checked, there are 17 games now in an NFL season. Relax, Ryan. The Detroit Lions will be just fine. Yes, it should piss you off, but I don't think it should piss you off to the tune of, like thinking that badly about him. It should piss you off.
Don't get your season tickets back. You keep those season tickets.
It's not about that. It's just it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating.
You can be frustrated, but the NFL is the bad guy here. The NFL is the villain here. First of all, half the penalties and rules that they have are garbage. What is a catch? What isn't a catch? We all know what a freaking catch is, okay? If the kid's betting on college basketball in March Madness, I don't give a damn if he's on the freaking weight bench. If he is on the bicycle, I don't give a damn. He ain't betting the NFL. He is betting like every other person in the world that likes sports. We get on our phone and we bet. We bet the Bucks and we bet the Warriors, just like I told you. That's what he got. He listened to me, and he probably bet on Princeton to win the damn game in March Madness. That's bullshit. It's bull.
Here's a good question.
It's bull.
Here's a good question. All right, let's play. Maz, you and I are on the same team. Let's play devil's advocate. Okay, let's say that the NFL is saying this, or they want this to be a rule because they know that it's a slippery slope. Hell, if you sit at the facility, you're bored, and you bet on a college game, what's to stop you from betting on an NFL game? You bet on the NFL game, and you're at the facility. Well, who's to say you didn't give insider information? Blah blah blah. So okay, I get all that. But with Jameson Williams, with this rule, with the whole 9 yards, I forgot what my point was. Maz was on a tangent.
Sorry.
He was on a tangent.
I can keep going.
Keep going. I'll jump back in.
Let me
They're
say
just
this.
the biggest hypocrites
I understand
of all
that.
the sports.
And let's blame everybody but JMO here. Let's blame everybody but JMO.
I guarantee he was in the parking lot. He's probably on the Wi-Fi.
You can't say that because you don't know.
Okay, I got it. I figured out what I had to say. Okay. If betting for players in franchises in the NFL, if it's such a slippery slope, if it's we don't want you to do it at all, you know the type of money that the NFL teams have? Do you know the type of technology that they have access to? Do you know how easily they could shut down all betting apps in the facility. If you really cared about betting that much, since players as well as employees of the Detroit Lions can be penalized, if you care that much, then why not have a firewall that shuts down Caesars, that shuts down FanDuel, that shuts down MGM? Because if nobody at this facility can use it anyway, then what's the use of having these sports bet if it's that serious?
Here's my thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's just
if it's that serious.
Look, let's blame everybody else.
But the kid's betting March Madness, Ryan.
But the kid can't play
and those
for
coaches
me.
and
the kid can't play. What if the Lions start 1-5?
How many times do you guys blame referees for like stuff like that?
What if they start
1-5?
I'll be pissed.
Okay,
but they're not gonna.
Let me again. One of the reasons why I compare him potentially to Charles Rogers, and this is where I want to go with the comparison. Charles Rogers, when you don't have something in your life, and I make reference to it with COVID a lot, and hear me out. If you get used to not doing something for a long period of time, you get used to not doing it. And I think Charles Rogers, when he had 2 years off of not playing football, and they were back-to-back collarbone injuries, you start to do other things that maybe you don't work out. You fall out of love with the game, perhaps. And I think that happened to Charles Rogers. I don't want that to happen to Jameson Williams. He went 1 whole year without playing football, and now he's going to go another half a year without playing football. And I think when you don't do something, you get used to not doing something. Does that make any sense whatsoever?
It makes 100%. You basically find something to occupy your time.
Yes.
And sometimes that thing to occupy your mind is not something positive.
Yes.
I understand 100%.
Thank you.
100%.
You said it way better than I did.
You're absolutely correct, though. You do sometimes occupy your life. Look, the idle mind is the devil's playground. We've heard that for a very long time, and it's damn sure true. Rest in peace to Chuck. I knew Chuck a very long time. When he was here with Detroit, his biggest issue was being too close to home because Charles Rogers had an entourage of 80 people. And when Charles isn't playing, they're always going out and partying. I was a part of it at times when I was off from school. But he's always doing that. So I understand what you're saying about when you have time. I just simply still think this is an isolated incident. Everybody is interested in betting. People are like, you're talking about individuals that have millions upon millions, or they will soon have even more, millions upon millions. It's a thing to be bored. Kid made a mistake. He's about to get penalized for his mistake to the tune of $300K, more than $300K. I'm pretty sure that's enough for him to never do that again. I think he might be able to appeal that, get that down to 3 games, 150.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Can I read some of these stupid rules?
Sure.
All right, these are the NFL.
Let's keep blaming everybody but J-Mo.
Yeah, that's fine. These are the stupid NFL rules.
Blame the NFL rules.
Yeah, let's go into it. Here you go, guys.
Blame the NFL rules, man.
Here we go.
He's an overtime guy.
All NFL personnel are banned from gambling on any sport, which is defined by 3 subjects, including prize, chance, or consideration.
Great. Okay,
so gambling.
Very good.
Whether wagers are sports book or in private, they violate the policy. All NFL part and full-time employees are banned from fixing games or trading inside information, including injury updates and personnel decisions. Here we go. During the season, the NFL personnel must not enter a sports book.
Oh, okay.
He didn't go to a sports book.
No, he didn't.
NFL personnel is not allowed to promote or endorse anything
great radio.
involving gambling. Really?
Yeah.
I see them all on TV.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
They're promoting gambling.
Keep blaming everybody but J-Mo.
Okay.
Blame the rules.
NFL personnel may not take any gifts.
Being difficult
You can't take any gifts if the value of the gift exceeds $250.
See Greg Williams.
NFL personnel are not allowed to participate in daily fantasy football
Is he
leagues.
NFL personnel? Is he NFL personnel?
Fantasy football.
Oh.
See, this is why I also want to know.
He can't play himself?
And here it is. Any NFL employee who incurs a gambling debt of more than $10,000 must notify the NFL security department.
Here's another reason why I asked the question: when was this? Like, was this during this? Like, this is what we need to know. Was it during the season? Was it during off-season, March Madness? Was it blah blah blah? And the reason why I ask you is because this is his first year. This is rookie year in the NFL. I keep making excuses. It's his rookie year in the NFL. When you're in season, the facility and everybody there looks much different than the offseason. When you're there in the regular season, everybody's there. The thing is popping. The thing is rolling. But when you're not there, it's no players there. It's a couple people. It's a skeleton training crew. Maybe maybe he was confused on during season and out of season.
Can you guys tell me, and hold this for the break, can you guys tell me that when he comes back week 7, that he's going to be totally a great player and it's all smooth sailing from here? Is he going to be that guy?